Hi everyone, welcome back to Coding with Bharat channel. So as you all know, we have been doing 2D prefix sum as a concept this week, right? So we have arrived at a new question known as matrix block sum that closely relates to the idea that we have been discussing so far. So let's go through the problem and then try to solve it first with a brute force and then optimize it and see what it is all about. So the problem says, let's say we are given a matrix of size m cross n and an integer k. So two things, a matrix and an integer. Now we want to return a new matrix called answer, which is also of the same size, where it says answer of ij is what? Is sum of all such r comma c, right? So I comma j's answer is equal to sum of all those matrix element where row number of the matrix element row number of the matrix element is within I minus k and I plus k. So for example, if I is let's say 5 and k is let's say 2, or let's take any element 5 comma 3 of matrix, and let's say k is 2. So that means you need to sum up all the elements whose row numbers are within 5 minus 2, 5 minus 2, which is row number 3, to 5 plus 2, which is row number 7. So row number 3 to row number 7. Similarly, column number of those elements are within j minus k and j plus k. So our j was 3. So again 3 minus 2 is 1 and 3 plus 2 is 5. So row number between I minus k and I plus k, and column number between j minus k and j plus k, right? And yeah, so that is what you need to create. So let's look at an example and see what the question is all about. So let's say we have a simple 4 cross 4 matrix. So 1 3 2 4 2 1 3 7, and let's take 1 5 3 and 1. Okay, now let's say our k is 2. So if I am talking about, let's say, this particular element, which is row number, so in the new matrix, if I'm trying to figure out the answer for 1 comma 3, right, row number 1 and column number 3, so I would need to sum up all the elements which have row number as 1 minus 2, which is minus 1, to 1 plus 2, which is 3. So all the elements that have row number between minus 1 to 3 and column number between 3 minus 2, which is 1, and 3 plus 2, which is 5. So yeah, basically 2 rows above, 2 rows below, 2 columns on the left, 2 columns on the right. So at the end of the day, entire matrix, right? This is probably not a very good example because all the answers would be the entire matrix. But if I take k equal to 1, then the answer for this 3 is just going to be sum of these 9 elements: 3 2 4 1 3 7 and 5 3 1. So this is what the question is all about, that for any I comma j, you need to sum up, you need to replace it, or create a new matrix at that place where you have sum of all the elements, k rows above, k rows below, c columns left, c columns right, in that sub region, right? Okay, so if we talk about brute force, how can we go about it? So what we can do, we can create a new answer matrix of again the size m into n, right? So the same matrix m into n with all zeros initially. Now I can try and go about filling each of the positions. So I'll run two loops for I equal to 0 to m minus 1, for j equal to 0 to n minus 1. So trying to go over every place. Now, to fill each place, you need to find, okay, what is the minimum row, what is the maximum row, what is the minimum column, what is the maximum column, right? And then iterate and sum up all those elements. So I'll say minimum row let me call it R1. So R1 is equal to I minus K. Okay, I minus K. But what if this I minus K goes to minus 1, minus 2, like we saw? So we have to restrict it to 0th row because that is the least row possible. So what we'll say that this is equivalent to maximum of this and 0. So if the number is negative, we replace it with 0. Otherwise, whatever the number is, we are fine with that. So maximum of 0 comma this number actually gives you the row number 1. Okay. Similarly, column 1 is again going to be j minus k and 0. So generally j minus k, but if it again goes to minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, you need to restrict it back to 0. So maximum of j minus k 0. So how is this maximum working? So if the number is positive, we are going to stick to that number because it's maximum. But if it goes negative, then in fact we are going to replace it with 0. And that is what we wanted to actually achieve. Okay. Similarly, let's talk about R2 and C2. What is the lowermost, like maximum row number and maximum column number that we need to consider? So maximum row number, if we talk about, is I plus k. But again, what if it goes beyond m minus 1, right? What if it goes beyond m minus 1? So we need to restrict it to m minus 1. So we'll say minimum of this and m minus 1. So if m minus 1 is minimum, keep that. If another row is minimum, like if it's not going till the end, then just keep that. Similarly, your C2, similar idea, minimum of j plus k and n minus 1. So now you know which is the row 1 column 1 and which is the row 2 column 2, like the top left and the bottom right. Now you can just iterate and sum up all these elements. So I'll run two loops for x equal to r1 to r2, for y equal to c1 to c2, and answer of I comma j plus equal to matrix of x comma y. So take all these x comma y elements and add it to the answer ij, because all of them are going to be within that submatrix which we wanted to sum up into the answer of I comma j, right? So that is the that is the brute force idea. I'll just make it a little lesser in size so that you can see the entire code. So go over every element, these two loops, like go over the every value in answer that I want to create. For every value in that answer, find the minimum row, minimum column, maximum column, so that you can get the entire sum matrix which we need to sum. Then iterate, sum all of that into, sum all the matrix element at those positions into answer of ij. Okay. If you actually carefully look, in the worst case, this is n into m, and it might very well happen that you are taking the entire matrix. For example, even in this case, if k is large enough, like for example here, if k was even 2, we were taking the entire matrix. But let's say even if it's a huge matrix of 1000 into 1000, then also what can happen easily is that if k is also huge, let's say 1000 or something just less, then we'll end up taking n into m in this second loop as well. So in worst case, the complexity would become n square into m square, which is bad, right? Which will not suffice based on the question. So how can we improve it? Just pause the video for a moment, and you know we have been doing it so far, so I think you should be able to do it. But yeah, okay, great if you were able to do it. If not, then perfectly okay. Let's just look into it directly. So we can replace these two loops to calculate sum if I just have the prefix sum 2D matrix. So if you remember what was in prefix sum 2D matrix, for any I comma j, I used to store sum from top left, like 0 0 to I comma j, like entire sum. And then to get any sub region sum, we used to subtract the lower rows, lower columns, and add back the small square that would be, or small rectangle that would be on the top left. So if you have not been following prefix sum so far, just go to the first video in this playlist and you should be able to, or in the 2D prefix playlist, and you should be able to find it up, right? But the idea is simple. We'll compute the prefix sum and then replace this with a simple formula that says prefix sum of R2 C2 minus prefix sum of R1 minus 1 C2 minus prefix sum of R2 C1 minus 1 and plus lastly prefix sum of R1 minus 1 C2 minus C1 minus 1. This we have been doing for the past 2-3 days, like the similar kind of pattern. So we can just reuse it here and directly calculate our answer of ij. So answer of ij would directly be equal to this formula. Okay, let's see it in the code as well quickly. So let me go to my submissions and open the code. Okay, so if you see, we have written this calculate prefix sum function, which I have literally copied from the previous submissions that we had. So it first calculates row wise sum, then it calculates column wise sum, right? Row wise sum, column wise sum. So any ij now stores sum of the sum matrix from start till this point. Okay, so prefix sum. Next, we have written this sum region function, which implements that formula that I was talking about. So the sum region takes R1 column 1, R2 column 2. So initially we initialize the answer to prefix sum till R2 C2. So entire matrix from start till this point. Then we subtract the extra rows at the top. So we subtract out p sum of row 1 minus 1. So row 1 minus 1 till column 2, this entire region at the top. Then entire region on the left side. So we'll say answer minus equal to p sum of row 2 comma column minus 1. Finally, this small region at the top would be subtracted twice. So we'll add it back. So if row 1 is greater than 0 and column 1 is also greater than 0, so answer we add it up, p sum of row minus 1 column minus 1. So these two we have been doing in the past as well. Okay, this is the new function that we have written. So first what I did, I copied this matrix to a prefix sum matrix. I called the function to calculate prefix sum on this matrix. Then I run two loops I, j for calculating answer of each position. Now for that position we calculate R1, C1, R2, C2, same formulas. So R1 is maximum of 0, I, k, I minus k, maximum of 0, j minus k, minimum of m minus 1 I plus k, minimum of n minus 1 j plus k. We have these four values. Now I replace the matrix ij. So I have not created a new answer matrix. I'm replacing the original matrix itself. So matrix of ij is equal to sum of this region of R1 C1 to R2 C2, right? And finally I return back this matrix. So yeah, uh, simpler solution if you have been following prefix sum so far. If not, just quickly go and check it out, right? If you have liked this video, just make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you are new here, hit the like button, right? And share it with your friends. So yeah, I think I'll take up one more problem tomorrow on the same idea of 2D prefix sum, which is slightly more challenging, right? And yeah, we'll close this topic up with four good problems, so that you have enough practice on this particular pattern and take up a new pattern next week. Okay, so see you guys tomorrow, where we'll take up the last problem of this pattern.